Guys, what is up? I figure I'm gonna do a little full day of eating on my low macros so you guys can kind of see how I hit 270 grams of protein, 160 carbs, and 52 grams of fat. I'm gonna start you off with kind of my morning routine. I just got up, weighed in, not a good weigh-in. I think I was 189.2, which is too high, not good. I'll kind of show you guys what I do here. I start off with this, this is my joint support powder from Cohn Nutritionals. Really good. It's like an orange pineapple, so it's my great way to kind of get that full thing of water in right when I wake up. And then I got my coffee going. I got my, I'm back to this French vanilla. I went through like hazelnut, sweet cream, French vanilla. I think this is my top one, so I just got that last night. I do a couple drops of stevia in that as well, because I like my coffee pretty sweet. And then I gotta do a pill of Core Hard. And I am taking glutamine only because I've had this for free, and I've heard it helps with kind of like gut health and stuff like that. So I am taking glutamine. Again, I didn't buy this. This is something that was sent to me a while back, so I'm just using it up. And also I do a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Just helps with digestion and a bunch of other kind of health type stuff. And then I always fill up my, I have my gallon water jug that I always fill up, and I make sure that I finish this by the end of the day. And then another, I think I've shown this tip before, but one thing I do is, this is gonna be my pre-workout meal, my pre-workout oatmeal. But what I do is I put my 80 grams of oats in there, I microwave it, and then I'm gonna put more water in it, and then I'm gonna put this in the fridge for a couple hours, and it'll kind of absorb and kind of actually get more volume of oatmeal. So quick little volume tip for you on oats. And then after I drink my my coffee and stuff like that in the morning, then I make my breakfast, which will be, I'll show you guys that, but it's gonna be just 2 whole eggs, 6 egg whites, and a half serving of reduced fat Mexican cheese. And here is meal 1. Like I said, it's just 2 whole eggs and 6 egg whites. Guys, next meal is my pre-workout meal. I usually have this about an hour and a half before the gym. So here's what we're having. And you know what? Honestly, I think that this meal has stayed consistent for honestly almost this entire prep. So it's actually pretty crazy that I've stuck with this meal. It's gotten a little bit smaller in some portions, but the main ingredients, I'm gonna have chicken breast in here. And then what I do, guys, probably your best investment is getting some like shears, and I just like chopping these into like bite-sized pieces. It just cooks easier, it's easy to season. And then so here you can kind of see, this is the oatmeal now that I've taken it out of the fridge. And what I'm gonna do is microwave this again, and then probably add a little bit more water and let it thicken up even more. But this is a freaking huge bowl. I love this, a huge bowl of oatmeal. That's 2 servings, so 54 carbs. But I feel like you can, letting it sit in the fridge and letting the oats really soak up and absorb the water, it expands, and it feels like you're getting like another serving of oatmeal. And then for condiments on the chicken, I use yellow mustard and a little bit, just a half serving of reduced sugar ketchup, mix up the chicken breast. And then I do 1 rice cake with 8 grams, which is a 1/4 serving of some almond butter. And then for the oatmeal, I use a little bit of cinnamon, and then I love putting in the pancake Walden Farms in there, just so I'm not adding any extra calories into the bowl of oat. All right, guys, so I'm talking about just using the shears and just cut off some bite-sized chicken pieces. That way the chicken, it just cooks really fast. That's how I like to do it. Makes cooking the chicken super easy. You can season it. So I'm doing 7 ounces here for this pre-workout meal. Got my 7 ounces there, ready to go. Just microwaved, re-microwaved my oatmeal for 3 minutes. And so I'm just gonna kind of like stir it and let this kind of sit for a few minutes, and it's gonna kind of thicken up. But again, you see the volume, the overall volume of this. This is a big freaking bowl of oats. It feels like it's so much freaking volume. I freaking look forward to this freaking bowl of oatmeal like every single day. Chicken seasoning, I'm doing garlic salt, some sea salt, some black pepper, and some organic, whatever, no salt seasoning I've had from, these are all from pretty much from Costco except for this one. But see here, I'm just getting the, it's just super, like this cooks up so fast. So literally within just a few minutes, your freaking chicken is pretty much done. When you cut them up into the small pieces, it just cooks really fast. So I'm all about quick and convenience here on this meal. And here it is. I got the oatmeal with a little bit of cinnamon, and I got the Walden Farms pancake syrup in there. So I'm gonna mix this all together. Freaking huge bowl of oatmeal, kind of a nice, you know, the brown sugar maple kind of somewhat flavor. And then I got my rice cake with 8 grams of almond butter on there, and then 7 ounces of the diced seasoned chicken breasts with some mustard and reduced sugar ketchup. So this is meal 2. This is a little over, I think it's like 63 or 64 carbs with the oatmeal, the rice cake, and a little bit of carbs that are in the almond butter. It is gym 30, so I'm gonna get all of my supplements ready. I literally have 4 shaker bottles that I have to get filled up. I've gone through this a couple times, but if for any of you like new subscribers or anyone that hasn't seen, I'm just gonna do a little recap here on what I take for, this is literally all of my pre, intra, and post-workout supplements that I'm gonna do. So for, let's start with pre-workout. Pre-workout, I'll be doing a serving of the core test here. And then I'll be doing, this is the America Labs pre-workout and their pump product. Really been enjoying this one. I will do a serving of each of these, as well as a serving and a half, or a scoop and a half, of HMB in the same mixer. And then for intra-workout, I do the core ABC. I'm using the White Passion Peach. Drink this intra-workout. And then, one other thing I did forget was go back to pre-workout. Right before, I'll drink this mixture of the America Labs and the HMB on the while I'm driving to the gym. And then literally I'll have in a separate shaker bottle 10 grams of dextrose that I will drink pretty much right before I start working out. And then post-workout is 1.5 scoops of core isolate, this chocolate peppermint bark that I freaking love. It's like so refreshing, guys. It's like, oh, that flavor that I look forward to drinking after every workout. So I'll do a scoop and a half of this with another 10 grams of dextrose in that shake, as well as another 1.5 scoops of the HMB. So that is my supplement. That's why I have like literally 4 shaker bottles here to get filled up. So that is my supplement regimen. It is pretty kind of crazy, but guys, in contest prep, again, all of these little, to me, all these little fine, minute little things can really make, especially now when we're getting really, really lean and stuff like that, can make, I feel like, even if it's that 1 to 2%, to me, it justifies kind of, I know a lot of people might say, oh, that supplement's worthless, or that one's kind of not really research backed. But again, guys, my pro debut here, cut me some slack. So anyway, so I'm headed to the gym. Tonight is chest, triceps, and delts. This is the A workout. So we got some higher rep type stuff and some drop set type work. We'll see if I can get some clips tonight. I'll try to probably get a clip for like Instagram, at Cohn Wolf 81 if you're not following me on there. Usually try to get like at least an exercise or something on video and stuff like that that'll throw into the these YouTube contest prep diaries. So I'm gonna get these shaker cups loaded up, guys, and then on my way to the gym. I am back from the gym, so I'm gonna show you what this is another meal that's pretty much stayed consistent for a long time. I don't know, I haven't gotten sick of it. I still crave this meal, which is crazy. So here's what I do. Starting off with I do a mixed green salad where I do half a serving, half a serving, which is about 43 grams of spinach. And then I do 1 full serving of just classic iceberg, whatever salad. In a bowl, I do slice up like a pickle or 2 and put those in there. And then this is my favorite, Walden Farms no calorie dressing, the Italian version. This tastes as close to like regular Italian as you're gonna get, so I don't have to add any extra macros on there. So I use that for my salad. And then what we're gonna make is we got chicken breast here. We're gonna make, you guys probably seen it in the past, we're gonna make that chicken parmesan using a lower fat mozzarella cheese, pizza sauce, and this is my low calorie 8 carbs per slice bread that we will toast and use a little bit of the, I can't believe it's not butter spray. Thing too, guys, gotta have my nightly can of diet soda. Had a can of diet soda every night this contest prep. I usually rotate between Diet Dr. Pepper and Diet Pepsi. Next step is gonna be tenderizing down the chicken breast. This is a must for this recipe, so tenderize that bad boy down. There's the chicken breast, all tender down, ready to throw on a, I have a heated pan here with some non-stick cooking spray. So I'm gonna put the chicken breast on there. I'm gonna use some garlic salt, some sea salt, and some black pepper on this chicken breast. Just flip a chicken breast, and the great thing about it is when you tenderize it down and it makes the chicken breast really thin, it cooks really fast. So this maybe took only maybe 2 minutes or so to get it nice and brown on one side, and I flipped it. And then now I'm just gonna let this cook for about another minute or 2. And then I'm gonna put the pan on the scale and put the pizza sauce and the cheese on top of the chicken breast. And I got my 2 slices of low carb toast, getting ready to get toasted here in a second. Next step is taking the ragu pizza sauce, and I only use a half serving, which is gonna be about 31 to 32 grams here. So just take a spoon and layer about 32 grams on top of your chicken breast until you get to that amount. A little too much. 32 or 31. Go 31. And then just take the spoon and I just spread it all across the chicken breast, cover it up completely. That's the nice thing, is a half serving will be all you need. You don't have to use the full serving. So this is only about, I think, 2.5 carbs and like 0.5 fat. So barely adding any, you know, very low amount of extra macros to this, but I think the taste makes it worth it for sure. So there we go. I got this all spread out on the chicken breast. Next step, we're gonna layer that mozzarella cheese on top of here. Again, I have a reduced fat mozzarella cheese. I also have the Trader Joe's even better macro, but this stuff melts better and it's cheaper. So I'm gonna do 1 serving, which is 28 grams. And I just kind of layer, make sure you layer the cheese evenly on top of the chicken breast so it's all covered in cheese. We're gonna have this melt all on top of the chicken breast and give that nice like chicken parmesan type effect. Even though it's not fried chicken, guys, but we're dieting here. Think of this as the dieting version of chicken parm here. So I got that 28 grams of cheese all spread out on the chicken breast. Boom. So we're gonna put it back on low heat. And then what I do, so put it back on your stove, and then I just get like a smaller pan, and this will help the cheese just melt faster, and I just cover up the chicken breast there. It only takes maybe like a minute or 2 on low heat, and the cheese is gonna melt all over the chicken breast. And then I got my toast, getting ready to come out. The last step is when your toast, I like it nice and toasted. I just do like a spray or 2 of the can't believe it's not butter spray. So 2 squirts or 2 sprays, 1, 2. And then I use the garlic salt on top of the toast. So sprinkle that, so it's kind of a nice garlicky bread. It goes really, really well, the toast, with the healthy version chicken parm. And then personally, what I do is I'll just cut up bite-sized pieces and put it on the toast, and oh, It is so freaking good. So now your cheese and everything should be melted, which mine is. So you see here the finished product when it's all melted, so it's all done. I did put a little bit more garlic salt on top of there. Just whip that off the pan and you are good to go, guys. So this is it. So this is my post. Here we go, guys. This is my post-workout meal. 8 ounces chicken, the 2 slices. I got the big bowl of salad and the Diet Dr. Pepper. Love this meal. Look forward to it every night. Next meal is my spaghetti squash pasta. So I have some cooked spaghetti squash in this Tupperware. I'm using 96.4 lean ground beef. I personally am doing 6 ounces that I'm gonna get cooked in this pan. And then this is this great sauce from Trader Joe's that per serving has great macros. It's only 0.5 fat, 6 carb, 1 protein, and I only use 2/3 of that, so about 77 grams of the 116. And then I do a whole serving, which really makes the recipe of Parmesan cheese here. And I am gonna add I'd add some like basil and oregano and spices and a little bit of garlic salt on this as well. So first step though is just getting your extra lean ground beef cooked up, and then I'll show you the next steps. So in this pan, I have 7 ounces of spaghetti squash here. I'm just kind of like getting it cooked up a little bit, and then I have my 6 ounces of extra lean ground beef all cooked up that I'm gonna add into this pan, as well as the 2/3 77 grams of pasta sauce with I'm gonna use some parsley, some oregano, Italian seasoning, and basil. This is optional, but I feel like it just kind of spices up the pasta, as well as some garlic salt with parsley. Once you have all your ingredients in the pan, you're just gonna really mix everything together and make sure like all the sauce and everything kind of gets mixed all in with all the noodles. So let's get it all kind of mixed up here. But again, this meal is all about volume. I mean, as you can see, most of my meals are very structurally kind of planned out to try to get the most volume that I can per meal with this low of macros. But this meal is freaking amazing. I just feel like the ground beef and stuff like that and all the pasta just puts a nice dent in the old stomach. Still not gonna feel full, but it's just the best job that we're gonna do at this point in prep. So again, guys, get this all mixed up. You can see here all the sauce is kind of getting all around the noodles. And then I just kind of like let this kind of heat on low for a little while, and then pour it onto a plate, and then we're gonna add the Parmesan cheese that I'll show you next. The pasta is all ready to go. So I'm just gonna dish all this onto my plate. Then we're gonna add the serving 5 grams of the Parmesan cheese. Last step, and this will definitely spice up this recipe. Add 5 grams or 1 serving of Parmesan cheese, which is you actually get a good amount. All right, we got 5 grams on there. Voila, guys. This whole entire plate of freaking beef, a ton of meat, pasta for under 20 carbs. You can't beat that volume. And last meal of the night. This is kind of my sweet tooth, salt tooth combination to finish off my macros. I'll show you what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna do 1 mini bag of this Orville Redenbacher Smart Pop. Really good macros on this stuff. It's 2 fat, 22 carb, 3 protein, so I'm gonna do 1 bag of that. And then here, look at all these ingredients. This is gonna be the main staple, is the non-fat Fage Greek yogurt. We're gonna do 1 whole serving, which is 227 grams in this bowl. We're gonna do a whole entire Carb Master, cinnamon roll yogurt. Awesome macros on these, only 1.5 fat, 4 carb, 9 protein for this whole entire thing of yogurt. So we're gonna add both of those yogurts in, and then we're gonna do just a small amount, just about 20 to 21 grams of canned pumpkin. Just give it that nice little pumpkin flavor. It only adds like an extra carb or so. We're gonna do a 1/4 serving of almond butter, and then we're gonna let that sit in the freezer for about 15 minutes. So some dash of cinnamon, and then we're gonna top it with some caramel syrup, Walden Farms. So I'll kind of like show you guys all the ingredients when I get it in the bowl. All the ingredients in there, the Greek yogurt, the pumpkin, the Carb Master cinnamon roll. I'm gonna mix that all up, and then last I add in the almond butter before we throw it in the freezer. Now everything is mixed in. So we're gonna take this bowl and we're gonna put it in the freezer for about 15 minutes, and we'll kind of thicken up. And then we'll add our Walden Farms caramel syrup on top of that. Just took the Greek yogurt out of the freezer. So just gonna add some Walden Farms caramel syrup on top of that. And bam, we're good to go. So again, that is how I'm finishing. I think I hit like 270 grams of protein, 162 carbs, and 51 grams of fat. So just for some of you guys, kind of get some ideas for meals and things like that. Again, when macros are this low, it's all about strategy and trying to choose like the highest volume foods you can do. So these are the meals that I've put together to fit into my macros. But this is the beauty of flexible dieting, is your meals can be completely different from mine and hit similar type macros. It just depends on what foods you want to use to fill up your macros. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed this full day of eating on Poverty Macros. I'll see you guys in the next Contest Prep Diaries video.